Hello dear students, warm welcome to you once again in my video. Students, this video is in the continuation of the first part of the poem The Banyan Tree, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Students, till now we have understood from the poem that the speaker is asking the banyan tree that is nearby a pond whether the banyan tree had remembered him or the birds who used to nest in its branches. Probably they left the banyan tree many years ago. Then the speaker asks the banyan tree whether it remembered about the little child who used to sit at the window and wondered about the roots and the huge branches of its. Then the speaker also asks the banyan tree about the women who would came near to the pond to fill up their water jugs and disturb the huge black shadow of its branches. Now students, today we will see the remaining lines of the poem. I will explain you the poem in detail and then we will also discuss some keywords and exercises. So, be ready to recite and understand the pretty soulful poem with me. Stay tuned till the end of the video. Sunlight danced on the ripples like restless tiny shuttles weaving golden tapestry. Sunlight falling on pond. The poet is saying that the sunlight danced on the ripples means small waves that are generally formed on the surface of the water. So the poet says that when sunlight falls on the pond, then it produces ripples, the ripples on the surface of the water, which looks like restless tiny shuttles. Shuttles are the type of tools which are generally used by a weaver for in weaving the clothes. Okay, so here the poet used simile to say that when sunlight fallen on the surface of the water, on the surface of the pond, the ripples are formed, and it felt like a weaver is using shuttles for making patterns or beautiful designs using the golden thread on the water, which twinkles, which looks very beautiful. Then he continues to say, and he says that two ducks swam by the weedy margin above their shadows, and the child would sit still and think. Yes, here the poet comes near to the pond. When he was a child, he came near to the pond. He sit quietly, he sit still, and he wonders, which shows it means that he is enjoying the nature, he is enjoying the scenery. And what scene he saw? He saw that two ducks swam by the weedy margins above their shadows. Means the two ducks are swimming. Were swimming in the pond. They are swimming by the weedy margins. Weedy means small weeds, okay, or small plants which are generally grown up near the pond or near the water sources. And margin means border. So they are swimming from the borders of the pond, and at that point of time the child would sit and think about the beauty of the nature. Means here Rabindranath Tagore is mesmerized by the beauty, by the beautiful scenery of the pond or the nearby pond. Now, in the last lines of this poem, you will see, you will find that what the speaker loved to do, what he really wants, what he really desires. So he says that he longed to be the wind and blow through your resting branches, to be your shadow and lengthen with the day on the water. Yes, he says he desires, longed to be means he desire to become the wind. Like every child have some desire. Some wants to become a bird, some wants to become a cat, some want to become the wind. So here Rabindranath Tagore also longs to be, or he desire to become the wind. And why he wants to become a wind? He wants to become a wind so that he can blow through the resting big branches of the banyan tree, to be your shadow and lengthen with the day on the water. Yes, he also wants to be the shadow. He also wants to become the shadow of the banyan tree, of the branches of the banyan tree, and would make the days long, lengthen with the day on the water. It means he just want to spread like the shadows spread on the water. Then he also says, and he desires to be a bird, and perch on topmost twig. Means he wants to become a bird, and perch means settle down or to have a nest. Okay, so he says that he wants to become a bird and nest on the branches of the banyan tree. And where he wants to build his nest, where he want to build his nest? He want to build his nest not at any lower branches. He wants to make his nest on the topmost twig. Twigs means this thin small plants or stems or branches, and to float like those ducks among the weeds and shadow. Yes, he also desires, like other childs, here the speaker also desires to become like a duck, because he wants to float on the water. He wants to float among the weeds. Weeds means small plants, generally wild plants which are grown nearby the pond or nearby the water resources. So he wants to become like those ducks, and he wants to swim. He wants to swim among the weeds, among the shadows of the branches. So through this poem, Rabindranath Tagore is cherishing the memories of his childhood. He is thinking about those golden days when he was a little child, how he spent his day, how these birds, ducks, branches of the trees were his friend. So this poem is about how to revive the fond memories of the childhood. So, dear students, I hope you have enjoyed this interesting, beautiful, pretty, soulful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. Now, we will have some exercises as I have promised at the beginning of this video. So, let's have a look on some of the important keywords related to stanza 4, 5 and 6. So students, let's have a look on the keywords. The first word is ripples. Ripples means a small waves or a series of waves on the surface of water. Then shuttles. Shuttles are the tools used by weavers during looming. As you can see here in the picture, means they are generally use these types of tool to throw it from this side to that side and from that side to this side, and this help them to create or to make some patterns, some beautiful patterns on designs on piece of clothes. Then tapestry. Tapestry means a piece of cloth with pattern or design. Viddy means full of weeds, small little plants. Margin means border. Longed to be means desire to be, have a great wish or desire. Lengthen means make or become longer. Perch. Perch means rest on something, like birds perch on the branches of the tree. They rest on the branches of the tree. Twig. As you can see here in the picture also, twig means a very small thin branches of the plant. So that's called twig. Now students, let's see the next question. So in stanza 3 and 5, tell us what happens near the banyan tree and how it appears to an observer. Describe in your own words what takes place, the scene created and effect produced. So as we have read in stanza 3 and 5 that there is the description of a pond near to the banyan tree where women would come to fill their water jugs, and the sunlights were dancing on the water, which looks like ripples, which produced ripples, and it seems like restless tiny shuttles weaving golden tapestry. And even some animals were also who were playing, like two ducks were swimming, or where the two ducks swam into the water. So through this scene, the poet wants to appreciate the beauty of the nature, as well as he is reviving the fond memories of his childhood. He is cherishing the sweetest memories of his childhood, and he is feeling very happy. The next question of this poem is, what would the child sit and think about? Why does he think about these things? The speaker wished to be a bird, and he wants to perch on the tree's topmost twig. He wanted to fill the water jugs himself, and he also wondering about the tangles of the roots of the tree. He thought about these things because these things were of past now, and he is talking to the banyan tree that the tree remembered his childhood or not. Students, I have one more interesting exercise for you related to this poem. So below are 9 statements about the text. These 9 statements are related to the text, and you have to decide if each statement is true or false. This exercise will help you to understand the poem in more detailed way. So the first statement is, the banyan tree has neat and tidy branches and leaves. Yes, you are absolutely correct. The statement is false. Okay, so what will be the correct statement? The banyan tree has untidy branches or leaves. The branches of the banyan tree were twisted. Second statement, the tree stands next to water. Yes, as it is already mentioned in the first stanza that the banyan tree standing on the bank of the pond. Third statement is, the tree does not remember all the birds that have made nests in its branches. Yes, this statement is also true. The child used to sit and look at the banyan tree. Yes, as it is already mentioned in stanza number 5, where he says that the child would sit still and think. So he come near to the pond to sit and think about the beauty of the banyan tree. The women filled their jars with shadows. No, this statement is false. The women filled their jars with water. They come near to the pond to fill their jugs with water, not with shadows. The banyan tree was asleep when the women came to fill their jars. So this statement is also wrong because banyan tree doesn't sleep. The huge black shadows used to sleep on the surface of the water. Number 7, the author compares the sunlight on the water to the making of fabrics. Yes, this statement is correct, as he said that sunlight danced on the ripples like restless teeny shuttles weaving golden tapestry. Eighth statement is the ducks swam close to the shore of the pond. Yes, the two ducks swam by the weedy margins or weedy borders above their shadows. The last statement, the child wanted to be the different element of nature mentioned in the poem. Yes, because he desired to become the wind, then he also desires to blow through the huge branches of the banyan tree. Then he also desires to become shadow and lengthen with the day on the water. Then he also longed to become a bird and perch on the topmost twig of the tree. Then he also says that he wants to float like those ducks among the weeds and the shadow. So let's match the answer. The first statement is false, second is true, third, fourth, they are true, fifth, sixth are false, and seventh, eighth and ninth statement are true. So students, that's all in this video. I hope you have enjoyed the session a lot, learned the keywords of this poem, learned the exercises which is given. Thank you so much. I will see you soon in the next video.